2011 Hot Springs Vanguard keeps going into protection mode. Power light flasing white, ready light solid on green. If I turn power off and back on, it resets and runs fine for anywhere between a few hours to a couple days, then will pop back into protection mode.
Good morning. Sorry you're having trouble with your tub. The flashing power light is a high limit error and almost always is due to poor or insufficient water flow from the circulation pump through the heater. Since your issue takes a little time, you probably have flow.just not quite enough to keep it operating properly. The reduced flow can be caused by several things. I would start by making sure the water level is above all the filters and remove the filter on the gray standpipe and replace the cap. Try restarting it and see if that stops the protection mode from reoccurring. If that does not, try removing the floor drain, heated water exits here, and see if it is obstructed with scale or debris. It unscrews counterclockwise and pops out. If the water level is good, the filter is out, and the drain screen is clear. You probably have a clogged or bad circulation pump. Replacement is probably the solution. Standing by.
The water level is around 2 inches above the filter tops, shouldn't be the issue. I removed the floor drain and there was some scale, but it didn't seem to be enough to obstruct the flow. There is flow, but I'm not sure how much there should be. I would think there should be enough flow to disturb the surface of the water level, which there is not. Is this accurate? Is the pump serviceable?
You should see slight rippling on the surface above the floor drain. Bubbles, especially if you have an ozone system. You can try to clean the circulation pump and check inside for debris. There are 2 different pump models, old and new. Below are pics of the 2 different models. If you have the old style, probably best to replace it. Especially if you are somewhere freezing cold, because that's when it will fail again. To clean or open the circ pump, you will have to clamp off the water lines and slash out of the pump. I recommend draining it to make it easier. Be careful not to break the elbow with the 1/4 inch tubing connected to the circ pump. It can be brittle and can break if not handled carefully when removing the circ pump. The old style require you remove the pump and the 4 bolts, 3 mm, holding it together. If should be sheen stainless steel without a scale build-up. If you find scale, use a CLR type liquid scale remover to soak the impeller in and fill the pump bowl and let it soak. Wipe clean with a paper towel and reassemble. Again, probably time for a replacement if you have this style pump. The new style has a locking ring that holds the front volute to the motor. If you unscrew it and open it up, you can see if there is debris in there. These pumps have an open impeller and usually do not have this issue. Have I thoroughly answered your question? If so, please leave a kind rating so I will be paid for my time. Standing by. Old style. New style.
It is the new style. I took it out and inspected it. Some scale came out, but not enough to have plugged it. Impeller looks good. I don't have 1/4 inch tubing coming out of the elbow at all. Is it typical for the motor to fail, or could there be another issue?
Yes, circ pumps fail. They run 24/7 365 and there can be motor or bearing issues. Removing the filter on the gray pipe and water level should correct the situation if the pump is working correctly, clean, and not clogged. The floor drain is not the issue apparently, either. If you are not seeing a rippling above floor drain on the surface, the pump is not pushing sufficient water. You could have a bad thermistor, but poor flow is almost always the cause of the power light flashing. No flow, no go. So if you suspect the pump is not outputting the water it used to, replace it. If you believe it is, then replace the temp/high limit sensors. I will have to go by what you tell me, I am not there to see. But if you had rippling previously and now you don't with the suggestions I gave you, replace the circ pump. Standing by.
Thanks. Just bought a house and the hot tub was here, so I have no historical baseline for how much flow should be there. Looking at videos of them, it appears that I have less than normal. Since it triggered the protect mode without the filter in it already, I'd say pump makes sense, but the intermittent nature of it is odd. Is there a way to test the thermistor? It also seems that the ready light blinking is the diagnostic for the thermistor.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.